Where I come from, barbecue is a noun. Smoked pork shoulder, that's barbecue. There's a whole lot of mystique about it. Some of it's just in the way you order it. Outside brown, extra dip, maybe the woods that you use. Do you want apple, oak, hickory? For all of that, you can make great barbecue at home, either on gas or charcoal. And in this episode, we're going to show you how to do it. It's very simple. All it takes is patience. I think one of the essence of great barbecue is to put a rub on a pork shoulder, ribs, or whatever you're cooking. Some people disagree, but I think it gives you this nice brown texture as it smokes that adds flavor to the meat. And I especially like to do it with a pork shoulder. Most all rubs, paprika, salt, pepper, and some sort of sugar are the basic ingredients for it. Now here's the good part about this. You need to massage it in. Practice your back massage technique. Keep at least 1 tablespoon of the rub because you want to sprinkle some of that on after you've pulled the pork tomorrow. We're giving it an extra layer of flavor, a little more crust, or bark as it's called along the professional ranks of barbecue. Now that we've got it nicely coated, let's wrap it up with plastic wrap. Let's put it in the refrigerator. We'll be ready to go tomorrow. If you want to win Memphis in May, the Jack Daniels contest, any of the great barbecue contests across the country today, you're going to have to inject your pork shoulder. All the champions do it. It's a wonderful way to add flavor. It also adds moisture. It gives you some fudge factor. You need to find an injector. This is an oversized one. You'll probably have to go to a kitchen store to find this, but you could also find one in a supermarket. You just slowly slide it in and then move it out very, very slowly as you're plunging. If you puddle in the middle, it's not going to cook evenly, and it's just going to be a soggy mess right there in the middle. If you hit bone, don't worry about it. Just kind of work around the bone. And if it spits back at you, you probably got too much in that area. So go to another spot. When you see it begin to run out like that, you've got enough in there. So once you've played nurse and you've given the pork shoulder all the shots that it needs, just let it sit at room temperature for about 1.5 hours. That helps the juices to kind of recirculate through the meat, get it nice and flavorful before you go to the grill. Doing a pork shoulder on a gas grill is really easy, and we're going to set up an indirect method exactly like we did for the chicken a couple of episodes ago. So I've preheated the gas grill on high, all burners. I'm going to cut the 2 back burners off. Also, while I was preheating, I had a little smoke packet going in here to generate some smoke. Now remember, your grill, the gas burners may go this way instead of this way. So know which way your burners are going, and so that you cut them off so that you've got indirect and direct heat. This is a part of a pork shoulder. It's actually a Boston butt. All we're going to do is slide it back there over the indirect side of this, lower the lid, let the seasonings, our marinade that we pumped in it, and the smoke do their magic. Now, like we talked about in an earlier episode, when you have longer cooking items like this pork shoulder, you need to put some sort of moisture into this fire pit. I've got some apple cider here. It'll give it just a little additional flavor. We're going to kind of put it over the indirect side. It'll take it a while, but it'll finally begin to steam and bubble. And just keep an eye on it because you don't want it to burn dry. Close your grill top. You need to be patient. You need to sort of forget about this at least for 20 to 30 minutes. Then check on your wood chips, check on the water, go get a beer, enjoy yourself. This is a great afternoon adventure. It's been about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so we need to check the smoke packet. And as I suspected, it's pretty much dead. So let's put another smoke packet in. It'll take it about 5 or 10 minutes to get going again. And remember, you're going to do this for about 2 hours, about 6 packets. Close the lid. Let's be patient again. Cooking a pork shoulder or smoking a pork shoulder and making barbecue is not that different on a charcoal grill than a gas grill. We're going to set it up the same way. We just happen to be using charcoal. We're still going to use an indirect method. We have the charcoal over here. That's our heat source. We have no heat source under the pork shoulder itself. I've thrown about a handful of wood chips in there. I've got my little bowl that's got the apple cider in there. So we're just going to cover it up. We're going to shut our vents down. Remember, we're trying to keep that smoke in there, and we're also trying to keep the moisture in there. You may need to check this in about 20 minutes. The smoke chips may have burnt out by then, but really your best indicator is if you're still getting smoke through the vents, leave it alone. The more you keep this lid down, the better everything's going to taste, the more moisture is going to be in the pork, and you're going to get good smoke flavor. 2 hours is about all you need to smoke it. After that, you're just working on the charcoal to get good heat. It's really important to try to keep your heat from about 180 to 275. One of the ways I like to do it is take an instant read thermometer and just slide it in the top one of these vents and just check it every now and then. We're running at a perfect 200 right now. Okay, our pork shoulder is looking really good, but we need to add a few more coals on this side. You don't want your charcoal to go dead cold. Replenish your charcoal every hour, be prepared. So after we've dumped them in, let's just kind of pack them all together to intensify the heat a little bit, cover it up, and finish cooking your pork shoulder. I think now we've gone to that magical place. We're no longer a pork shoulder, we're barbecue. Let's check. The instant read thermometer is the best way. You need to get it up about 180 to 190 degrees. But if you want to be a barbecue master, see this bone right here? If this thing wiggles and you can pull that meat up around there like that, you're done. That's what you're looking for. Isn't that beautiful? That is gorgeous. This one's ready to put off on the pan and start picking. We got great barbecue in the making. Okay, the problem with this barbecue is I kind of want to get into it right now. It really needs to cool off for about 20 minutes, but if you've got insulated gloves or you want to work with a couple of tongs, you can go ahead and start picking. This is the consistency that you really want. This is good pulled pork, or as we call it in North Carolina, chopped. Just kind of use your tongs, use a fork, use your fingers, whatever you want to do, just get in there and pull it. Pull it and let it break apart. Look at all this great, great barbecue. Don't throw away that outside brown. That's fabulous flavor and you want it in there. If you wanted to, you could chop this a little finer. If you're in Tennessee, you're probably going to want it about like this. If you're in eastern North Carolina, you probably want to chop it a little finer. Once we've pulled it apart and we've got it to about this consistency, I like to reinforce the flavor a little bit with some of the same rub that we put on the outside. Not a whole lot. It's kind of like adding a little salt to something else that you might have cooked. So sprinkle a little of that on. Give it another toss to spread the seasonings through the meat. Now, here's the debate. Thick sauce, thin sauce, sauce, no sauce, whatever. I like a little sauce. I'm a Lexington style North Carolina kind of barbecue guy, so I like a little ketchup and vinegar, a little tart and a little sweet. So I'm going to add just a little bit at this time, mix it in, give it a little moisture. But then if you're going to eat at my house and you're going to eat barbecue, I'm going to give you the option as to how much sauce and what sauce you want to put on there. So just a little bit for flavor. Now, the truth. You know what? A gas grill does a really good job of making barbecue. I defy anybody to beat this.